Idaho.
She doesn't have a license, she doesn't have insurance, she takes her to Idaho.
That's not true.
Okay, need her to give me the girl right now. Usted es Valentin? Yes, this is 12-3622-9, Valentin Lopez Madrigal versus Christina Foshi.
Okay, and sir, can you state your name for the record?
Nombre para que conste en acta.
Valentín López Madrigal.
Valentin Lopez Madrigal.
Okay, and ma'am?
Christina Foshi.
Christina Foshi.
And are we going to do, we're not
We'll do simultaneous.
simultaneous? Okay, perfect. All right, so this is on for hearing notice. The mother had requested an emergency restraining order. The court denied the emergency restraining order and set this hearing. So I'll hear from the parties. I didn't really get a response from the father. So, sir, do you need additional time to get a response in?
You did that last court date. You gave him 2 weeks.
Well, I have the
Pero no
documents.
sé.
I don't honestly know why this is here today, because I have custody of my daughters. I've had them for 13 years. She came to the state of Washington 1 year ago, and she's not following the custody schedule. And then she shows up and takes my daughter whenever she wants, and without asking me. And I have these documents here I'd like you to look at.
Okay, so hold on. What has to happen is
That suceder hoy.
this isn't a trial where people are testifying. This is where you provide materials in writing under penalty of perjury.
Well, I have the documents proving that I have custody of her.
Oh, okay,
Not the situation.
so
All right, guys, buckle up, because this case wastes no time throwing you straight into chaos. Before the judge even finishes introductions, explosive accusations are already flying. Claims of no license, no insurance, and secretly taking a child across state lines hit fast. There is no buildup here, just raw conflict dropped in the viewer's lap. The court record begins calmly, but the tension underneath is unmistakable. You can sense this is not a simple misunderstanding, it's years of resentment surfacing. Both parents arrive already defensive, already convinced they're right. This brief opening perfectly sets the tone for a custody battle driven by distrust. From the very first seconds, you know this hearing will not stay calm for long.
I understand currently the parenting plan places the child with the father. The mother requested an emergency restraining order and the court to place the child with her. The court denied that request. There was an insufficient basis to do it on an emergency basis without notice to the father. And the court set the hearing. Sir, you're going to have to get a written response in. Now, ma'am, I'm going to give him another chance because honestly, the materials you supplied, I denied it initially. I set a hearing. I can't find a basis to just grant custody to you. I want to hear from the father because he has had custody for the past number of years.
Is there a way we can do a temporary
Ma'am,
order?
no.
So I can get her into a different school because
Ma'am, no, you guys need to follow the parenting plan right now.
she won't go back with him.
Ella no quiere regresar.
Okay. So, again,
Eso es mentira.
the parties need to follow the parenting
I'm
plan.
not going to send her back.
Okay,
No la voy a
ma'am,
regresar.
¿Quiere hacerlo?
Yeah, she won't do it.
Mire, you want
What's
to see
before the
something,
court-
please, sir?
hold on.
Espere.
All right. What's before the court right now is the mother's request, which has been denied. And ma'am, I'm going to give him a chance to get materials in. Now, what's not before the court is any sort of contempt by the father
Lo que no está frente
for the mother's,
es una.
I mean, you're admitting you're not following the parenting plan, so you're violating the court order. That's not before the court.
Eso no es.
I'm going to tell both parties, you need to follow the parenting plan.
Les voy a decir
Okay.
a ambos, necesitan seguir el plan
The parenting plan is what controls.
de tutela es lo que
If
controla.
somebody, if your child won't go to school,
Si tu hija no va a
well,
la
it's
escuela,
fine. We just won't make them go to school, right? No.
Okay.
If the child won't follow the parenting plan, you need to enforce the parenting plan, both of you guys.
tiene
Now,
derecho.
The allegations of abuse?
Stop.
All right, guys, this is where the real confrontation takes shape in the courtroom. The judge lays out the reality. The emergency request has already been denied. The father asserts long-standing custody, while the mother pushes emotionally back. Interruptions pile up, frustration grows, and patience wears thin on the bench. The judge repeatedly shuts down arguments that don't follow procedure. What makes this moment intense is the contrast between emotion and legal structure. The mother admits she's not following the parenting plan, escalating the stakes. Here, authority is asserted clearly, and lines are drawn with no ambiguity. This segment exposes how quickly emotions can collide with courtroom rules.
I don't have any records from CPS, nothing from
I've
the
made
police.
hundreds of
Ma'am,
reports.
stop. Like I said, I'm going to give the dad a chance to get materials in.
Again,
Necesita la
Yes.
oportunidad de
Listen,
documentos.
sir, you need to get whatever you want the court to consider on the mother's request to, and ma'am, you haven't even filed a modification action.
I have. I filed those papers. Yes, sir, I did.
You haven't filed a modification action. You filed an immediate restraining order. That doesn't
No, I
modify.
filed the
Pidió una
temporary
orden de
plan,
restricción.
everything. I filed all that.
Yo entregué un-
So, ma'am, I can't give you legal advice. There is no modification action filed. A modification action is a special type of petition to
filed
ma'am,
that.
Listen to what he's saying, please.
quit interrupting. We got to make a record. I can't give you legal advice. There's no modification action filed. You filed for an immediate restraining order. That's been denied. Set the hearing. You might need to seek the advice of an attorney if you wish to
La orden de emergencia.
navigate, if you can't navigate the procedural family law.
El proceso
It's-
legal quizás necesita hablar.
You can represent yourself. You don't have to. You didn't go to law school.
Yo entiendo que no fue
I can't give you legal advice because I'm not allowed to. I can tell you, though, like I said, there's no petition to modify.
para modificar.
Even an immediate restraining order, if it is granted.
Alright, guys, now we reach the phase where reality firmly closes in on both parents. The judge methodically explains why nothing can change without proper filings. No shortcuts, no emotional appeals, only what is legally before the court matters. Repeated attempts to argue are met with calm but immovable judicial restraint. Deadlines are set, responsibilities clarified, and warnings clearly delivered. The mother's urgency clashes with the court's procedural limits. Even serious concerns raised late cannot override legal process. By the end, the judge leaves no confusion about what happens next. This final stretch underscores how the law prioritizes structure over emotion.
In the future, after I hear from both sides, it's only
En el futuro.
extremely temporary to get to a modification action, which hasn't been filed yet.
Eso no se-
So,
When I filed the emergency restraining order, I did a modification of parenting plan too.
it's not in the court file. I don't know what,
Gave it all to the
so
clerk.
you can check with the clerk's office and look at the court file. I don't see it in here, but,
Yo no lo veo.
so, in any event, sir, you need to get a response in. What you want the court to consider, you have to get in the court file,
Usted tiene que-
just like the mother did with her initial response, with her initial documents, signed under penalty of perjury, any attachments, and you have to give her
Llenar
copies of whatever you file with the court.
juramentada, escribir-
I will set it over 3 weeks, one final time. Sir, if you don't get materials in by the 6th,
No
I'm
entrega
going to have to have the hearing,
sus materiales.
and you can argue from what's in the court file, but I can't consider materials that aren't filed, and that the mother has a chance to look at.
Ah,
We don't do it by ambush. Both of you guys get materials. You state your case and the court
a- a
rules.
Este tipo de audiencia. Son las reglas de
so,
la corte que cada-
That's all I can do for today.
Entonces, de
Is there any
antemano,
way I can
y
get her into a
hablamos.
different school? The school that she was previously going to, she had some involvement in some gang activity. We're trying
If
to get
you
her-
and the father agree,
Padres están de acuerdo.
you can do what you, but right now, there's nothing,
En este momento.
there's nothing for the court to
nada que
do.
el tribunal pueda hacer.
So I would implore the parents
Les pido,
to try to work together for the child.
He refuses.
él se niega, es en la espera.
So the court order has to be followed unless the parties agree otherwise.
Y ya está en
The
vigor,
child
al menos que
Doesn't get to make the decisions on her own. You guys are the parents.
decide. Ustedes son,
However,
pero
just because something can be done doesn't mean it should be. You guys need to try to work together for the best interests of your child.
trabajar entre
But-
Tried
ustedes para lo mejor.
1,000
You know.
times.
Yo ya
Okay.
he intentado 1000 veces.
And don't speak past each other,
No.
talk to each other. Ma'am, I'm just saying. So, all right. Back in 3 weeks. If you guys agree otherwise, everything can be stricken or entered and done. Otherwise, we'll have
I need to be heard.
Please.
on what, you have to put it in writing.
Look at all these days she hasn't gone to school because
Mire
she
lo que
takes
hacen
her.
estos días que está con ella.
And this is what she's doing while she's there.
Mire,
That is not, those are
¿usted
old
cree que eso
photos.
está bien?
Do you think that's right? She,
Idaho.
she doesn't have a license, she doesn't have insurance, she takes her to Idaho.
That's not true.
Okay.
Yo necesito que ella se vaya conmigo ahorita.
I need her to give me the girl right now.
Okay. The court can only consider what's properly before it. The only thing before it is an immediate restraining order, which has been denied. Can't give you legal advice, just like I told the mom. But I told the mom I don't have a petition to modify. I also don't have any motions for contempt in front of the court. I can only consider what's in front of me. And in 3 weeks, we'll hear the mom's request to switch custody on a temporary basis, is denied on an emergency basis. And sir, I'm giving you a chance to get materials in, whatever you want me to consider, and I will hear from you on this issue, but what's not before the court is any sort of contempt. And I just tell both parents, you need to abide by the court order unless you're both in agreement otherwise. You may need to seek the advice of an attorney, seek the advice of an attorney.
Hablen con un abogado.
Okay, thanks.
Gracias.
That's it for today.
¿Qué es lo que tengo que ver?
So what is it that I need?
¿Cómo que?
A response and then give a copy to the mom.
I don't understand what you mean by
Voy a agarrarla
response.
aquí.
A written
Where
declaration.
do I get that? Do I get that here?
Yes, you can get the declaration formats here.
Puede.
Right. Thanks.
Thank you.